You ever been on a team that was just stacked with talent? I mean, brilliant, creative, powerful people, but for some reason, you just couldn't get anything done? It's one of the most frustrating things in the world. So in this explainer, we're going to get into the art of leading those incredible individuals, the ones who don't naturally row in the same direction, and figure out how to turn that potential chaos into a masterpiece.
Okay, so let's just start with the main idea right up front, because this is the key to everything we're about to talk about. A room full of huge egos and individual stars isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's an opportunity. The real question isn't how do we get them to stop being I's? It's how do we connect all those I's into a truly powerful we?
And this leads to a classic leadership crossroads, right? What do you want more? A team of obedient soldiers who just follow orders without question? Or a team of rebellious minds who challenge everything you say? Now, the easy answer is to avoid the rebels. But the real magic, as we're about to see, is a lot more interesting than that.
And here's that paradox in a nutshell. You've got two ways to fail. On one side, you have teams that are just paralyzed. Everyone's afraid to rock the boat, no one wants to stand out, so great ideas die in silence. Then you have the other extreme, total chaos. Everyone is fighting for the microphone, and the whole thing just blows up. Finding that sweet spot in the middle, that's the real trick.
So to find that sweet spot, we have to get the diagnosis right. And here's the thing. The real problem is almost never what we think it is. It's not about clashing personalities. It's about a lack of direction.
Yeah, this is where we get it wrong all the time. We see the symptoms, right? The different working styles, the arguments over methods, everyone pulling in their own direction for their own priorities, and we think that's the problem. But according to the source material, those are just symptoms. The actual disease is a lack of a common compass, no shared destination, and absolutely no connection to the bigger picture.
And that brings us right here, to the most important insight of all. A team of brilliant soloists doesn't fail because of who they are. It fails because everyone is running their own race towards their own finish line. So stop blaming the people. The problem isn't the players. It's the game they're being asked to play.
So if the problem is a missing compass, then the solution needs a very specific kind of leader. And this is where we get this incredibly powerful metaphor, the leader as a conductor.
Think about it. A great conductor doesn't walk up to the first violin and say, "Hey, can you sound a little more like the tuba?" Of course not. They don't want everyone to be the same. Their entire job is to understand the unique genius of each instrument and weave those different sounds together into one beautiful, cohesive piece of music. The goal is harmony, not everyone playing the exact same note.
And that's the job, right there. The conductor leader is the bridge. They take that fierce, individualistic drive of the I, and they show it how it can become something so much bigger, so much more powerful as part of a we. And when that connection happens, man, that's where the magic really starts.
Okay, so let's get practical. How do you actually do this? Being a conductor sounds great, but it's not just a vibe. It comes with a very clear playbook for how to channel all that raw talent.
And here they are, the conductor's 4 rules. They're simple, but they are so powerful. Number 1, define the destination. 2, give people autonomy, but, and this is important, with limits. 3, celebrate their impact. And 4, learn to interpret conflict, not just shut it down. Let's break each one down.
All right, rules 1 and 2. First, define the why. This is so critical. The smarter and more independent your people are, the less they're going to respond to just do it because I said so. They need a compelling purpose. They need to know where the ship is sailing. Once they buy into the destination, then you can grant them autonomy. They don't want a rigid step-by-step IKEA manual. They want the freedom to figure out the best way to build the furniture. But, and you can't forget this, that freedom can't be a total free-for-all. Real autonomy actually needs clear boundaries to work.
Now for the last 2 rules. You have to focus on and celebrate impact. Look, not everyone on a team like this is going to be a go-team cheerleader, and that's fine. They don't have to wear the jersey, but they absolutely have to know that their individual work mattered to the final score. And finally, you have to completely change how you think about conflict. When tension bubbles up between these powerhouse players, it's not a bug, it's a feature, it's a signal.
This quote is just fantastic. Friction and arguments on a team of soloists aren't necessarily a sign that things are broken. It's a sign of incredible energy that just hasn't been focused yet. It's like an untamed fire hose. A bad leader runs away from it. A great conductor doesn't try to shut off the water. They grab the nozzle, aim it, and use that power. They listen to the tension. So let's pull all of this together.
When you're standing in front of this room full of brilliant, challenging, individualistic people, what's the end game? What are you trying to build?
The whole point of this approach isn't to sand down all the interesting sharp edges of your most talented people. You're not trying to build an army of clones who all think the same and act the same. The real goal is to create synergy with their individuality, to take all those unique strengths and find a way for them to make each other even better.
And I just love this line from the source material. It's the perfect way to think about it. If you try to force a group of rock and roll guitar gods to sing in a barbershop quartet, you're going to fail. It's just a complete misunderstanding of what makes them special in the first place.
And that, right there, is the big idea. The best model for this kind of team isn't a choir, it's a band of soloists. Each one a master of their craft, each with their own unique style, all brought together and united by a great conductor who helps them create something together that none of them could ever hope to create alone.
So I'll leave you with a question to chew on. Think about your own career, your own life. When have you seen it happen? A leader, or maybe it was you, who had to take a group of fiercely independent people and somehow, against all odds, turn that raw chaos into an amazing result. That right there, that's the art of the conductor.